going to call the Board of Selectmen meeting for January 16th, 2018 to order. As required by open meeting law, we are informing you that we will be video, audio taping, and not live broadcasting tonight. In addition, anyone in the audience wishing to video or audio tape must notify the chairman now. With that, will you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Yeah, room for Don over there. Set. Anyone for weekly briefing?
Mr. Chairman? Oh, excuse me, I didn't see that.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. On your consent agenda this evening, you will see the name of Ms. Jade Ross, who has been with us since June. As you can see, she's already decked out in her emergency telecommunicator apparel here. She's working a double tonight, as a matter of fact, but she's been with us part-time since June and still in a training program because of the part-time status. But with Charlie Brooks, one of our full-time dispatchers, leaving for the police academy next week, I believe. So there is a full-time dispatch opening, and Jade's been doing a fantastic job for us in her part-time capacity, so we are recommending her full-time appointment effective the same day that Charlie leaves for the academy. And it'll be a seamless transition, so we're really excited about it. And as I said, Jade's been doing a fantastic job for us. She is a Harwich resident, went to Harwich High, so we love to hire local talent, and she's been doing a fantastic job, and we're very confident she will continue in that vein.
Excellent. Thank
Thanks.
you, Chief. Welcome.
Thank you.
Larry?
Excuse me, sad news, Robert Thomas, in my neighborhood, I learned passed away on Friday. He was president of our neighborhood association for a number of years. He also served on the open space and real estate and open space committee for some years. Sad, but it happened rather quickly. So just want to make that announcement.
Very quickly. Thank you, Larry. Anyone else for weekly briefing? Public comment and announcement? Consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move the following consent agenda items. A, approve the minutes December 4th, 2017 regular session. December 11th, 2017 regular session. December 18, 2017 regular session. B, approve the recommendation of the police chief to hire Jade Ross as a full-time telecommunication dispatcher effective January 21st, 2018, and C, refer the marijuana time, place, and manner bylaw to the planning board for a public hearing.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On to new business. Appointment of new members to the Wastewater Support Committee. Christopher Harlow, term to expire June 20th or June 30th, 2018. Peter Hughes, term to expire June 30th, 2019. Don, will you just give us a why the dates are so soon? Just, I know there was one question brought up about that.
We're attempting on all the committees to make sure that we have a staggered term for them. And as it stands with what we'd already appointed,
Is he speaking loud enough, Jamie? Speak.
you don't want to really hear me anymore. Really. We have been attempting over the last 6 months to make staggered terms out of everything. Given the appointments that we have, these would be consistent with that because it should be 2-2-1, and this perpetuates that.
Okay, and this is in new business because we did not go through the normal process, the interview committee, at the time that we made this decision. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, and to that point, Mr. Chair, we are obligated to advertise. We're obligated to interview those we don't know if they exceed the number of available positions. But in the instance of not having any more candidates and also knowing who these people are, you can bring them forward. It's just the interview process can vet out people that we're unfamiliar with, or if there's an abundance of people, you can compare what they're saying.
Great, thank you, Don. So just for Larry, Julie, and my point, I put it under new business so we could discuss it tonight if anyone had a problem.
I appreciate that because we're anxious to move ahead with a tight time frame coming up for town meeting.
Right.
And Mr. Chair, I'd also assume then that Chris Harlow, the ones that, especially in June, we could, I'd come back for possible reappointment at that time then.
Oh, yeah.
To move on.
Yes. Julie, anything?
No, I have not.
Can I get a motion on this?
Move that we appoint them as read.
Speak up a little, Don.
Move we appoint them as read.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded to appoint as read. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Old business, Recreation Department seasonal salary comparisons. We voted on this a couple weeks ago. At the time, Eric didn't have the study with him, and we voted anyway, so I put it in the packet just so that the public could review the study that was done. If there's no discussion on this, Larry, all set?
I'm all set. Eric, I think you commented last time that we have pretty good luck bringing people back from previous years. Maybe you want to just expand on that and how many positions are you actively recruiting for this summer, so people know that as well?
We won't know exactly how many openings we have until we send out our re-invitations to last year's staff. But we had a young staff, so I assume a good amount of them will come back. And we have had good luck with people coming back year to year, but we're starting to lose them now. Towns like Chatham and Dennis especially, they pay significantly more, and we've seen a couple guards go that direction. I've also been approached by groups of guards about the potential of any pay raise, because they want to work here, they need money to support themselves in college too. So, but we have had luck, but we're trying to be proactive and keep it from becoming a problem in the next year or two.
Julie,
No, I mean, I think if we're losing people, we need to really look seriously at that because it looks like the overall pay, we're on the low end, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Janelle, all set?
I'm all set.
Don? I'm all set. Town Administrator's report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a couple of items, actually good news on both counts. The town of Yarmouth informed us that we have obtained a grant through the regional initiative for Dennis, Yarmouth, and Harwich for the wastewater initiative. Just a quick look at it, was $150,000. I believe we submitted for more than that, so I have to look and see what component was approved and what component was taken out. But just as that's good news. And then on the second, we did also receive information that we put in for 2 ADA grants. One was $250,000. We have not yet heard on that, but we did hear on the second one, which was $30,000 for a ADA study to be done through the community. So we were awarded that, and the paperwork came through. That grant award is under $50,000, so it's $30,000. I just want to make sure I disclose to the board that we were successful in that endeavor and did obtain that grant. And that concludes my comments this evening for this portion of the...
Any comments to Chris on the grants?
Well, I would just like to congratulate Matt Hart for his hard work on the grant to help us do our assessment for accessibility, something we're required to do. And apparently, we just can't go ourselves around the buildings and look to see what's right or wrong. It has to be a certified professional, as it were. So, and surprisingly expensive, so it's a lot of work. And I'd further comment that this is just a start. Now we have to get it done. And so I know Matt has already communicated with you, Chris, on actions because it's a tight time frame. As I read it, has to be done by the end of June.
The end of June.
And so it's, we have to get going. But congratulations to Matt and Chris and everyone for going on this.
Thank you, Larry. Julie?
Well, congrats, it's great news. Nice to hear, thank you.
Janelle?
I don't have anything on that.
Don? Set? Selectmen's report. Larry?
Nothing more to report.
Julie?
I'm attending the MMA conference on Friday and looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, me too.
Janelle?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask who was going. I'm going both days. I don't know if you guys are planning on going both days, but I also would love to speak with each of you this week and go over the schedule and know which seminars you're going to attend, and then stagger so that we can get as much information as possible as a town, and then maybe report back, even if it was an email or just, a brief summary of what facts were presented and anything new. There's a ton of information there, so I guess what I'll do is I'll email everybody separately, and then maybe we can communicate that way, both prior to and after, if everybody's cool with that.
Don?
And to that end, I said this to Janelle, I'm interested in going to the vendor area and trying to see if I can hit places that talk about either IT security and/or available software, so we can stay current in those areas.
So, Julie, you had another?
Yeah, I just wanted to note that, and my phone just died, so I can't find the contact name, but I spoke to the information received on the housing designation through DHCD. I spoke with the contact on that to find out more about it in terms of, I know we had questions on the 7,000 or less in the community and if we were ineligible for grants, and we're not at all. This is so new that while I was speaking with her, she said, I can't even give you a specific guide for you to look at because I'm writing it. And so she's going to be at the MMA.
Okay.
So I thought, to your point about splitting up and covering different areas, she did note that she would be there, and she gave me an overview on it, but we certainly, if we were able to meet the designation, now we may not be able to meet it this year, but next year, that money that we would qualify for if we meet all the criteria doesn't have to be used specifically for housing. It can be used for capital costs, for anything. So that's good to know. So it's good if we could speak with her, and I'll get her name and everything, so.
Don?
Yeah, and beyond MMA, just want to take note of the fact that three of us kind of staggered being at the CPC meeting last week, and there was no vote taken. They went through an analysis format where they were trying to figure out and rank order them about what was most interesting and least interesting, and try to see if they could align that with available money. They will not be able to do it this week. I pointed out that we haven't addressed the selectmen's policy about posting by a Thursday, and since that was Thursday night, lost next week, so it'll be the week after that they'll be holding their meeting.
Great. Does anyone plan on attending the MMA business meeting at the,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
You going, Larry? So you can represent us for, one of you can represent us for a signature at the evening? Great. On the lines of that, if everyone could pay attention to the next CPC meeting, kind of just give us a heads up on who's going so we can post it if we're all going to go. I think as they're going to start voting, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea if we had full support there for our initiatives anyway.
Mr. Chair, I think we should post it.
Great. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We are adjourned.
What time is it?
It's a record. Jamie,
That is a record.
6:14.
6:14,
I'm
wow,
not going to thank them until after the end of next meeting.
that's crazy,
Then we'll
great.
know what we deferred.
Jamie made me promise, 6:15.